Ashlyn is a very happy kid. She truly is.
She definitely has personality, which I think is what makes her unique, because there are so many medically complex children who, you really have to pull some things out of them, but she's always been sassy since the beginning. I call her Ashlyn.
She loves to be tickled. She loves to laugh. She loves music. She loves throwing things. She loves just being silly and making up silly songs. The sillier we are, the happier she is.
Ashlyn had a stroke a few days before she was born. This led to a complicated NICU stay, ultimately 2 brain surgeries and other complexities that we've since had to deal with 5 different therapies and 7 different specialists through the years. And so from the stroke, she does have epilepsy. She has cerebral palsy and cortical visual impairment, as well as just developmental delays across the board. I think everybody has the slight fear when you're pregnant that something may be wrong. And when something does appear, you don't know what's going on, and we didn't know what we were in for after that.
Oh, it's a gut shot, yeah. Like, when you hear about the difficulties that she's going to have, and there's nothing you can do about it. Everything that you expect when you have children, to know that it's just never gonna happen. It just takes a lifetime to get used to.
When something happens medically, you get a prognosis of what your life may look like or what recovery may look like, and there was none. Neurologists basically told us that she could be a vegetable, and this could have been grim, or she could potentially walk. We don't know. This diagnosis has really made us take a step back from everything.
It's the unknowns. I'm an engineer. I deal with certainty. I deal with predictability, stats, all that kind of nerd stuff, right? So, in fact, the doctor in the NICU even told me, because he was getting to know us, asked me what I did for a living, all that kind of stuff. And he said, this is gonna be the hardest thing you've ever dealt with, because you're not gonna know. There's nothing you can do about it. I feel like I've always known about Make-A-Wish, just whether through commercials, football games, or whatever, insert major thing here, Make-A-Wish is always around, right?
One of our doctors talked about it, and he said that just because we think somebody may have it worse than we do doesn't mean we shouldn't reach out. It took me a long time to get to that point of really embracing help and support. So when I found out that we had qualified for a wish, it was like a dream come true for me. I was ecstatic. It was a little overwhelming because Ashlyn does not communicate with us. So there were so many things going through my head, trying to figure out what we could really do to make this wish for her. Yes, I would love personally to travel, but I know that's not Ashlyn, and that's not gonna make a difference to her.
We're just trying to think of something of what can we do for her that's going to not only make her happy for a day, but be a constant thing for her.
We were talking through different options, and it was a lot of all over the place kind of stuff, but I think when we got to the room, it really kind of started to come into play, and we could kind of start visualizing. Ashlyn's wish was for a safe sensory bedroom. Ashlyn, because of her medical complexities, does need a lot of support and a lot of attention. She doesn't understand that life has to pause for other things, so she constantly wants interaction. She constantly wants to be throwing things or touching things or going places. So it was really important that her room be a very safe place.
At one point there was a local contractor who came over and he had a bunch of ideas on things that they could do. I'm like, yes. And then when the day finally came, it was awesome.
It was a different experience because somebody else was doing the work, which was really nice. That was really great because I always knew in my head she needed a safe and sensory place to be, especially because she does need a time to kind of desensitize from everything. As we moved into the room, and especially when I put her in the bed, you could tell she knew something was different and this was for her, and she started smiling like one of those big uncontrollable grins that just lights up the room, and that's how I knew that she knew something was different and it was good. Her favorite part is definitely the ball pit, because she'll get in there during her time to play and she will throw those all over the room. We'll be sitting down here and we'll hear the ping, ping of the balls hitting the wall, but that's all right because I know she's having a good time. Having this room has really, well, one, she wants to go to bed more often. She used to never ask to go to bed, and just the first day we had it, we came downstairs after hanging out up there for a couple hours. We came downstairs and 15 minutes later she said, "To bed?" We're like, I guess we can.
It has increased our confidence that she's safe upstairs and reduced the amount of time we need to spend on ensuring that she's safe.
She likes to be in there now, because I always had a question, like when she was in her room during her calming time, if she thought we were just leaving her in her room with the bed, but now she wants to be up there. She plays, she interacts with the room. So it not only is great for her and her therapies, but it's good for us too, because we need the break, and I don't feel guilty for putting her in her room for a little bit when I know that it's something that she wants to be doing. I think it's important for children like Ashlyn to receive a wish, because these families have so much that they're going through between therapies and doctors and treatments. So we often feel like we're not doing enough. And so not only is it great to see your child happy, it's also just such a relief for the family and the parents to have something like this happen.
Historically, society has put special needs children in a corner, and to be able to highlight them, that they're people. They're not disabled children, they're children with disabilities. And that's a really important distinction. To be able to promote what these children overcome and are able to do is great for everyone. And to me, for people who haven't had to go through this, it illustrates the fact that they're still humans. They're still people. Organizations like this help keep this in the forefront.
To the donors and supporters of Make-A-Wish, I just want to thank you. It means a lot to these families to have something like this, and it's been a great journey, and I plan to pay it forward.
To have things like a couple of extra things to where we don't have to worry about funding them, or even just a day away, it's life-changing.